Hello and welcome to No BS with Dr. Wood, and I'm Dr. Norman Wood. For thousands and thousands of years, men flippantly said women were crazy. But now, for the first time in human history, we have visual proof through countless videos that liberal women do not have the mental capacity to form reasonable, logical thoughts and to make informed decisions. Their emotional decision-making is ruled and formed by social contagion. Liberal women think this world is nothing more than rainbows and lollipops, and they can do anything they want with no accountability. So let's get to this. Cue the music, and I'll be right back. Welcome back to No BS with Dr. Wood. Thanks to Steve Jobs, the inventor of the iPhone, and others, liberal women can no longer lie and deceive about their true nature. For the first time in human existence, and that's an amazing statement to make, but it is true. For the first time in human existence, we can now prove who is damaging our society before our society fails. And those culprits are crazy, destructive, liberal women. And hopefully with this proof, enough good people see where our country is headed and stops it. These people must be stopped.
No! 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 Because hundreds of thousands of people are starving! Babies and mothers and grandfathers are starving to death!
The evidence is shocking, clear, and overwhelming. They're just plain nuts, and these people vote for national policy. And because of our system of government, this puts all of us in danger. And we all need to seriously think about that.
Right now, I feel! What do you feel?
And we now have a sitting liberal female Supreme Court Justice, Justice Jackson, that couldn't even give the definition of a woman during her confirmation. She said she wasn't a biologist. My God, lady, just look between your legs. And we now have liberal women saying any man in a dress is a woman. We also have hundreds of liberal women who are defending a woman who strangled her 3 children to death, and she has admitted to it. Look at the sweet faces of those murdered children.
In the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy, as she sobbed in court, the jury heard the traumatic 911 call made by the father of the children,
who found the children dead in the basement. We want to make clear that some of this testimony may be very upsetting. NBC 10's Nicole Mader, live at the court. We won't hear the call, but Nicole, you did, so did the jurors.
Jean, Patrice, emotional, doesn't even begin to describe what it was like in that room today. The testimony started with Patrick Clancy describing what happened on that night, and then we heard the 911 call, which we did not record. We were not allowed to record it. It gave a harrowing glimpse into what happened on that night.
In January of 2023, did Lindsay ever tell you that she wanted to harm your children?
No.
More testimony today from Patrick Clancy, a gut-wrenching day in court.
At what point did you call 911?
I don't know the exact time, but it took a few minutes because my phone was switching between Wi-Fi and 911. So I almost just started calling out for the neighbors.
That 911 call was played in court. Patrick told the dispatcher his wife tried to commit suicide, and you can hear him encouraging her to stay awake, to look at him, to show him her eyes. The urgency in his voice is palpable.
I said, "What happened?"
And what was her response?
She said, "I tried to kill myself."
Lindsay was moaning but didn't speak. Patrick described the cuts on her wrists to the dispatchers, and when EMS arrived, he told them, "Stay with her. I need to go check on my kids."
And when you saw Dawson, what condition was he in?
I knew he was gone.
You could hear his footsteps sprinting down the stairs into the basement. And then he wailed, a blood-curdling howl, shrieking, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" as he found his 3 children with exercise bands around their necks.
I immediately ran over and tried to take the band off.
Were you able to get the band off?
Yeah,
And do you recall how you got the band off?
I think I untied it.
"I need help," he cried. "She killed the kids." As the call played, Lindsay Clancy shook and sobbed into her hands. Jurors were crying quietly. As the call ended and court went into recess, the only thing you could hear were Lindsay's sobs and sniffles from observers in the gallery, who were moved to tears by what they heard. No one in that room is ever going to forget what Patrick's voice sounded like on that call. He was not in the room. He was dismissed before that call was played. We did hear from 2 other witnesses before the lunch break, and then Patrick was back on the stand for cross-examination and redirect. That's where we leave things today. Court resumes at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and I'll send it back to you.
This woman does not have an insanity defense. She put too much rational planning into these murders. She may be bipolar, but many people in prison have minor mental illnesses, and being mentally ill does not make you immune to punishment for heinous crimes. And we have executed people for less, and she needs executed for killing those 3 kids. Can you imagine what those 2 little boys and that sweet little girl went through and thought when their mother was strangling them to death? How many times did those little babies scream, "No, Mommy, no," as they watched their brother or sister being murdered by their mother, choked to death while they screamed and cried? This woman can beg for mercy and forgiveness from God all she wants, but she would get none from me. She is going to spend the rest of her life locked up, either in a hospital or in a prison. But this is the point. Look at the length that the liberal women have gone to say this woman didn't kill her children, or that it was the husband that killed the children, or the mental health system failed her. And they are all lies if you know anything about this case. These liberal women have sympathy for the killer and none for the children who were murdered. There is a central theme to all of this, and that is liberal women do not accept accountability for anything, even when they murder their own children. This is why so many liberal women think going for an abortion is nothing more than a trip to have their nails done. Yes, you tear the arms and legs off of the baby during an abortion. And this is a 10-week-old baby. Do you think that is not a baby at 10 weeks? Do you think that little precious baby can't feel its arms and legs being torn off during an abortion? These people are sick, and they must be dealt with. Liberal women try to convince us to accept and to tolerate the unacceptable and the intolerable. The lack of any sense of morality by these liberal women is astounding, and the overwhelming proof is in front of all of us. And this proof grows daily at an astonishing rate. These liberal women in their stupidity can't help but display their foolishness on social media for all of us to see. And this overwhelming volume of video proof can no longer be denied or ignored. The stakes are much too high. In earlier times, and in Native American cultures, if a woman killed a child, the men of the tribe would drag that woman by the hair into the middle of the village so all could see, and then the men would beat her brains out with a club. Her body was then fed to the dogs. These societies knew this type of deranged behavior was damaging to them all, and it could never be accepted or tolerated. So why are we so accepting and tolerant now? This is suicidal empathy, as Dr. Syed describes. And now it is abundantly clear these liberal women have no business being in any position of authority or making decisions on topics that will affect our society in any way. In the past 100 years that liberal women have been allowed to vote, there is a single issue that liberal women today continue to march and fight for, and that is the right to kill their own children. And these lunatics have killed 65 million babies since 1973. That is 100 times greater than all of the combat deaths in all of America's wars since 1776. And if we don't stop this murder of the unborn, we are not going to survive as a nation. And I have a warning for all those liberal women and weak men out there that are causing our demise. Good men and good women will not allow this to progress to the point of endangering theirs or their family's existence. If modern men have to start carrying clubs again, they will, and they will use them extensively. And if our society ever gets to that breaking point, good men will take control by force overnight, and it won't be pretty, because there is now evidence, video evidence, who is causing all of the problems, and these people will cease to exist in short order. This is the history of mankind. This has happened countless times throughout the ages. Men will only put up with stupidness and nonsense for so long, and then when they say that's enough, then they start putting people in the dirt. And if you are one of the problem makers, no one is going to be able to save you when this happens. Liberal women complain about the patriarchy. Well, I got news for you. It is the patriarchy existence that has allowed you to live. Men provide the protection, built the homes, the cars, provide the electricity, food and water, provide the clothing, and provided the phone that you are now holding in your hands. Without men, most of the women in this world would be dead in less than a month, and that is fact. So good men and good women need to start looking at these issues with concern. We have allowed our country to get so far off track that our very existence is now in danger. And while the ignorant Women's National Basketball Association commissioner is trying to decide what a woman is, and while liberal women are encouraging their 13-year-old daughters to have their breasts cut off so they can be boys, the rest of us need to take a good look at what is transpiring and decide how far we are going to allow this to continue before we stop it once and for all. And anyone who tries to defend or make excuses for these liberal women will be put into the same category and dealt with in the same way. Or we can ignore what is happening and descend into a world of moral depravity and debauchery and allow the greatest country that has ever existed be nothing more than a footnote in history. I don't think we're going to let that happen. Good men and good women need to stand and say no more, that this foolishness has gone on for far too long. So men, get your clubs ready. It's coming. So thank you for watching. This is Dr. Norman Wood signing off until next time. So God bless all of you. God bless West Virginia. And God bless America.